How's it going, guys and gals? My name is DividableHalo HD. Today I'm joined by Taras from Late Night Gaming. How are you doing
Hello.
today?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty swell. So for today's interview, we're going to be interviewing Late Night Gaming, and we're going to be talking about his YouTube and stuff about the Halo Clan, or not Halo Clan community, sorry, the Halo community. My bad. So for anyone that is on my channel that's an active subscriber, I've been doing interviews about the Halo Clan community for quite a bit, and I've decided to open up the new series about doing the Halo YouTuber interview series. So you are my first guest.
Well, I feel honored. I
All
feel
right.
really honored.
Yeah, so that's kind of, I guess, a bit of an introduction on what I said there about the Halo Clan community.
Oh
But yeah,
yeah, I've been
so
doing it for so long.
yeah, definitely. So for my first question that I'm going to be asking you is, when did you first start doing videos about Halo?
Oh my gosh, 3 years ago. It's either 2 or 3 years ago. It was like in the beginning of 2013, kind of around the same time of Halo 4. I had like this. I mean, I've always kind of mixed in Halo with my videos, but it was at the same time where with my channel, I didn't really even know what I wanted to do. I uploaded Titanfall footage, I uploaded Call of Duty Zombies, Sonic the Hedgehog, like pretty much anything that I was playing at the time I uploaded. And then kind of I had this weird epiphany one moment where I was like, Halo 4's campaign isn't half bad. And then I was like, why doesn't anyone else notice this? And so I began focusing my channel more on Halo and trying to, I guess, organize my channel into kind of like a hub of Halo opinions where you can voice your opinion freely without being like just degraded and kind of torn apart, because the Halo community was already pretty divided at the time because 343 had just taken over the Halo franchise.
All right. What made you decide the name for your channel, Late Night Gaming?
It's gonna sound lame, but it was really late. I was playing a game and trying to think of a name.
All right, pretty understandable.
Yeah.
So, when did you first like start doing Halo as a whole? Like, just like, do you remember an exact? I guess you did say Halo 4, right? Did you like stick to Halo 4, I guess, and Halo from there on out?
Well, I didn't stick with Halo 4 just because, like, Halo 4, I appreciate the campaign a lot more. And as time goes on, I actually find new things that I really, really appreciate about Halo 4's campaign, especially after Halo 5, going back to Halo 4. But I kind of like, I jumped around from Reach to Halo 3, and then sometimes even Halo 4's campaign. And it wasn't really until the MCC where it was like, all right, no nonsense, it's specifically Halo now.
All right. So, what kind of like videos do you make exactly? Like, the Halo community has obviously commentaries, or commentators. They have machinima people. They have a lot of people. So, what genre do you kind of fall into?
It's hard to say a genre because I know some people say it's just plain commentary, but also I feel like sometimes I try to have discussions on the state of Halo. Definitely before Halo 5, I was actually really rooting for the game. I was expecting it to be like this generation's Halo 3, and well, um, it definitely stung when it turned out not to be. So now it's kind of like I guess I try to be vocal about what I think needs to change with the Halo series and stuff, and not just, this sucks, change it, but more in depth, more specific about things that just aren't working that 343 is trying to do, and encouraging other people to be more vocal about it in a more respectful way.
All right. So you were telling me earlier before this interview that you have a lot of people that from 343 that watch your videos, right?
Yeah, as far as I know.
All right. And what kind of videos do you make exactly? Like, are they a lot more negative or just constructive feedback to 343 and the Halo as in itself?
Well, it's sometimes I actually, there used to be a 343 employee who worked on Halo 5, and he's actually recently left 343, so that's really actually sad because I really did actually like the guy. He designed my favorite mission in Halo 4, but the thing about him is kind of like the things that we talk about, I'd kind of try to see. He'd say, hey, why don't you try doing this and talking a little bit about this, because I'm sure, like, this would be kind of interesting to get the community going on a tangent and stuff. So I guess it's kind of like whatever I feel isn't working at the moment with Halo, because, sometimes, like, I have bipolar disorder, so there are some really bad days where some things piss me off about Halo 5, and I'll usually try to make videos about that. It really depends on how I'm feeling the day. Obviously, during the beginning of Halo 5's kind of lifespan, I want to say, I was very divided. I was very kind of upset because I didn't know what I wanted to think, because there were so many things that it did right, but there were also so many things that it did wrong, and so I kind of jumped from subject to subject without order. But now I feel like I'm starting to have more of a sense of organization. So it's really just discussing maybe some narrative things that they messed up, even visual things, sound effects, just the overall structure of the game.
All right. Now, has 343 ever replied or to you about some of the stuff that you've talked about, like some of the problems with Halo?
I mean, this one guy definitely, we've talked back and forth. I don't want to say his name because I don't know if he can get in trouble or anything. And we've definitely actually talked about a few things, and he actually agrees with me on a few things. In fact, we talked a little bit about the redesign of the Covenant. I'm actually not a big fan of the redesigned Covenant for Halo 4 and 5. I understand there's a lore reason why they've been redesigned, but from a, I guess, visual aspect, they look more like generic aliens that I would see in your everyday sci-fi shooter than the Covenant, which had a very specific and recognizable art style. And he was actually on board with me. He said, yeah, I completely agree with you, and to be frank, some of the art team does too.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you were telling me, yeah, you were also saying that pretty much Halo 4 was probably one of your favorite campaigns, and it kind of sparked you to stay with Halo from there on out. And what is your honest opinion about the Halo 5 campaign?
Oh man. I think without a doubt, from a narrative standpoint, it is not only just a bad Halo game, it is a bad game in general. I know a lot of people feel like they need to defend the Halo franchise because they grew up with it, but I tear apart the Halo 5 narrative because I love Halo so much, and we cannot have a repeat of Halo 5. Halo 5 for me personally is probably the worst told story I've seen in a first-person shooter in years. Level design wise, it's okay. It's nothing special though. Definitely I think the problem with Halo 5's level design is every level plays the same. Every level is very formulaic in its design. Pretty much the first level plays exactly like the third and the fourth and the fifth, and so on. There's no real change. It's fun when you're playing co-op because you're not really expecting much. It's just a series of challenge rooms. But single player, I noticed the formula immediately, and after a while, the campaign began becoming very tedious and repetitive.
All right. So, yeah, the campaign, a lot of people have made opinions about that too, but a lot of people said that the multiplayer made up for the campaign. So what do you think 343 did wrong with the Halo 5 multiplayer?
Well, definitely, I think they are right that the selling point of Halo 5 is the multiplayer, because the arena's great. The arena works so well, and it's actually a really big, refreshing change of pace, because Halo has kind of been very, I guess, in terms of the multiplayer, it's been down for quite a few years. We had Halo 4 and then the Master Chief Collection, and so Halo 5 is a return to kind of form, but some of the things that I feel that the multiplayer kind of failed to deliver on was, well, specifically, one of the most important parts is the player freedom, the freedom to choose. I remember Halo 3's matchmaking, how you could go in and you could, customize your search parameters and stuff. There were different kind of sleeves that you could open up, your competitive playlists, your casual playlists, and you could just kind of go and choose how you wanted to play the game and what kind of people you wanted to play with. And with Halo 5, there's nothing, it's just 9 playlists, and it's very vague, about kind of like who you're going to be partnered up with. You've just kind of got your emblem there saying what tier of a player you are, and then you're thrown into a matchmaking server.
Yeah. So, speaking of Halo 3, there's been a hashtag going around called hashtag HaloX, which was
Oh
created by
boy.
Spartan I-99. Now, you and Spartan I-99, well, I guess Spartan I-99 has made a video about you in the past before he, I guess, privatized all his videos.
Oh, he
And it was
did.
pretty much a direct reply to a comment that you made about him exposing Halo Collective, and I guess more or less as well as him criticizing a bunch of bigger YouTubers for pretty much just like I guess saying sucking 343's dick.
Yeah, yeah.
so
Um, yeah, go ahead.
so what is your opinion on Halo X and Spartan I-99 as well?
Um, so I actually barely remember what happened. I in fact didn't even know that he really made a video about me because I stopped paying attention. And that's not an insult at him. That was not shade at him. But I left a comment on one of his things because I actually have a few buddies at the Halo Collective, and I know that he made a video called like exposing them or whatever. And I watched his video, and nothing was exposed. It just seemed like I disagree with them. I'm really upset about this. So I left him a comment saying, look, I know you're young. I know that, sometimes I remember being your age. I remember being a teenager. And I remember just kind of like jumping on my emotions. If I feel angry about something, I act on it without really thinking. Well, and to this day, I still do that to some point. But I advised him to just kind of like, look, take down the video, like, stop this nonsense. You don't need to, expose people, whatever that means really at this point. On the internet, you can talk about your quarrels privately if you want, but just overall, like, stop this. This whole argument is childish, and the fact that you're publicizing it is even worse. And I guess he didn't like that. So I'm not sure. I didn't watch his reply video or anything. And then I know shortly after he like threatened to leave YouTube, and then he did, and then he came back, and then he started this Halo X thing, which I'll admit I don't know too much about. I do know it has something to do with like bringing Halo back to the good old days, but honestly, I've tried doing something like that in the past before, like the whole hashtag movement thing, and sadly it doesn't work, hashtags just don't work. What works is really, I guess, making a change, creating a real constructive video. You can't just say hashtag Halo X, bring back the good old days. Okay, what does that mean? No,
Yeah. Now,
it's not.
yeah, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, go ahead. I was gonna say it's sadly not gonna do anything, this Halo X thing. I mean, number one, the problem starts at the hashtag Halo X. A 343 employee that are working, they're in the middle of doing something, and they don't really have time to watch like a 10-minute video detailing. They're just gonna look at that and they're gonna say Halo X. What the hell does that mean? Okay, moving on. Do something more direct if you're gonna use hashtags, like hashtag bring back elites, or something like that, something more direct that's gonna get people's attention.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, this hashtag, I suspect it's going to be forgotten about in a few weeks.
Yeah. Now, the morals of pretty much, or I guess the main thing that he's been saying about Halo X is to pretty much spam the hashtag Halo X everywhere. And this, I guess, has brought a lot of YouTubers to pretty much say that it's another like hashtag fix MCC, and it kind of, I guess, ruined a lot of people's videos where people would just comment hashtag fix MCC, and it was just getting completely out of hand. So the whole point of Halo X is pretty much to go back 10 years ago, I believe, was the launch of Halo 3, right? And from what they were saying is Halo 3 was pretty much the more it was the it's the good old days where everybody loved Halo 3, and it was like, I guess, the more top I guess it was like the top time when the community was just thriving. So, do you believe that we could actually have like a good old, I guess we could be
Oh yeah.
Halo could be as great as it was in Halo 3. Halo
Um,
could be the
I think I think Halo definitely it has the potential, but the problem is there needs to be kind of like a I guess a collaboration on both sides, both the developers and the community needs to work together. For one, the community needs to be stop being so like toxic and venomous about their opinions. Like if something you don't like happens in the Halo series, voice it constructively. You can't just say this sucks, change it. You need to be specific on why you think it sucks, because I know like this guy who I talk to in emails and stuff, he's told me sometimes it's 343 employees because the community is so vague about what they want. They'll just say, it sucks, change it. And they won't be specific, you know? And then also, I think a big part is on the 343 employees, definitely, they need to start respecting the classic Halos a little bit more. You know, there's a reason that Halo 3 is regarded as a classic. It's because it did everything right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kind of taking everything and saying we're going to change it. No, don't like don't. Halo 3 is the classic. Do what Halo 3 did. That's the one everyone likes.
Yeah.
You know, I think of kind of like the way that they've changed up the matchmaking and the armor customization and just overall everything. You know, you don't definitely even with Spartan Ops, you know, because Spartan Ops started off actually as a prototype firefight mode with objectives, and it over time turned into kind of the Spartan Ops that we know and, well, don't love. And so the problem kind of starts there. It's like, if it's not broken, don't change it. In fact, do what worked and just add on that. Like, don't change it and do something different.
Mm-hmm. All right. So yeah, pretty much, what do you believe that 343 can do to benefit Halo in the future?
Well, I mean, kind of besides taking note from Halo 3, one of the problems I think with the Halo franchise as of right now is it's not really doing anything special that other shooters don't already do. One of the reasons that kind of Halo used to be so successful is the amount of options that Bungie gave their players, and the amount of just things you could do in the campaign. It was revolutionary at the time for a shooter. And now there are other shooters coming out that offer much better, more kind of finished, complete campaigns and multiplayer. You know, so you look at Halo 5. Now, this is going to be a comparison that I definitely think Halo 5 is the superior game, but I can't exactly fault the other one. So Black Ops 3 and Halo 5 released around the same time. I personally can't stand Black Ops 3. I think it's a terrible game, but I cannot deny that Black Ops 3 is worth $60 more so than Halo 5 is. You know, Black Ops 3 has your co-op campaign with campaign matchmaking, you know, all sorts of unlockables. Then it's got like up to 40 playlists or something, and then it's got its own like co-op mode, and then it's got its own special campaign with zombies in it. Then it's got its own little side arcade mode. It's got so much content. And then you look at Halo 5 and it's got this like 4-hour half-assed campaign and nine playlists, including Warzone, you know, just 9 playlists, and then a broken custom games currently.
Yeah. Now, it's been reported by Halo Follower that Halo 5 has had the lowest sales of all time in its first opening week. Now, do you believe it has to do with like the lack of Forge not being in there, no infection, all these other game types that are just kind of being held ransom, as you would say, by 343?
Yeah, yeah, they're definitely being held ransom, but I don't think it's because of like Forge and the game types, honestly. In fact, I don't think the general public was even aware of the fact that like Infection was being held ransom. And Forge, because I know I actually admin the biggest Xbox fan page on Facebook, like fan run page. It's called Xbox One Fans. And when Halo 5 launched, I got a ton of messages from people saying like, "Where's Infection? Like, what the hell?" And I think really the reason it sold so little, honestly, in my opinion, as kind of lame as it sounds, it was because of the lack of split screen. You know, that was pretty publicized. And Halo, one of the iconic things about Halo is its split screen. And so I think people heard, no split screen? All right, well, I guess I'm going to go buy a game that does have split screen so I can play it with my son or my girlfriend, or so on.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So we're gonna kind of digress into another topic, and it's gonna be focused more around you and basically the Halo YouTube community. All right.
Okay.
So, when did your channel first started getting noticed? Because you're a good sized YouTuber with like 11,000 subscribers,
Yeah.
and a lot of people honestly love watching your opinion, and they just love your commentaries since you got like a nice smooth voice.
Um, it's definitely bizarre being told that I'm a well-known YouTuber because I guess maybe it's just me, so I know the videos that I make and stuff, so I still view myself as that little guy with like less than 1,000 subs from a year ago. But I think I think like with the Halo community and stuff, I don't know, like Halo YouTubers, there are actually quite a few that I really enjoy watching, like Halo Canon. I know I also watch Ultimate Halo. I'm actually friends with Jack Fletcher from Ultimate Halo. But overall, I think, I don't know, like Halo's community and stuff, and definitely I think the YouTubers almost feel responsible. Like, sometimes I feel YouTubers, Halo YouTubers, they feel that unless they kind of praise everything 343 does, they won't kind of get thrown bones. Because there are some people on YouTube in the Halo community that make their living off of Halo, and getting exclusive access to something or early scoops on an upcoming DLC. It lets them prepare so that they can make a ton of videos and earn revenue off that. And I feel like sometimes they feel they physically cannot voice that, yeah, this doesn't work, like this kind of sucks, because if they do, they're gonna get all ties cut off.
Hmm. So you kind of have, I guess, been the voice for people like speaking out against 343, right? Do you believe so?
I guess you could say, I don't know, I don't want to voice against 343. That's definitely not the intention, to just be like, oh, they suck. It's more like, what you guys are doing is terrible. Please, like, listen to me.
All right. So, when did when did you start getting like, I guess, noticed? Because you said a year ago that you had only about 1,000 subscribers, right? Now, pretty
Yeah.
much you have 10 times that.
Oh my god, yeah. It was, I want to say, around the same time as the MCC, and definitely the Halo 5 beta. I did some stuff on the Halo 5 beta, and sadly, I think a lot of the reason why I was noticed and stuff was because I was very positive, I was very optimistic. I was like, don't worry, it'll be fixed for sure. And then sure enough, it didn't, and I think people just wanted, like, validation. They didn't want to live in fear that the MCC might be a lost cause. And then definitely Halo 5, I think, people were they just wanted a good Halo game. It had been so many years, and I was one of the people who absolutely loved the Halo 5 beta, and I was very vocal about that. So they kind of latched onto that.
All right. So we have a couple more questions before this interview ends. One of these questions is, what does your channel hold for the future? Like, are you going to stick with Halo, or are you going to move on, or any surprises for any of your fans?
A lot of people actually are asking me if I'm going to do stuff on other games because Halo isn't exactly as popular. And for me personally, Halo has been such a massive part of my childhood and stuff. So many good memories that come from Halo is, I feel like I'm going to be one of the people who goes down fighting with the franchise, Hey, if the franchise is a sinking ship, then I'm going down with it. Like, I'll definitely cover, like, games, like maybe, the new Doom game when it comes out. I'll definitely do, like, a review of it, but for me, Halo will always be the focus of my channel, no matter how dark the franchise gets.
Mm-hmm. All right. So for anyone that wants to make Halo YouTube videos, what advice do you have for them?
So for people who want to make Halo YouTube videos, definitely the thing is, to straight off the bat, you've got to like deliver something that I guess other people don't really deliver. And I know that that sounds really cliche and stuff, but you know, like you've got your Halo followers and your Ultimate Halos that kind of deliver news and stuff. And for you, hey, maybe you're really good at the game. So what you could do actually is you could make your channel like a montage video, but you kind of got to have your own style to it, your own visuals, your own graphics and stuff, the way you edit the footage. Like you've just got to be unique. You can take inspiration from other channels and stuff, but you've got to take that inspiration and you've got to translate it into something that's unique to you. As vague as that sounds, that's really the best thing.
All right. Well, that is kind of all the questions that I have for you today. This is obviously the first YouTuber interview, so thanks for bearing with me on this.
Oh no, yeah.
If you guys enjoy this video, be sure to basically like it up. Also comment down below about your thoughts on basically the Late Night Gaming's I guess whole lore for YouTube and the Halo community and whatnot, his own opinions and his thoughts. I'm sure he might read the comments below for any of you people that do comment. If you guys enjoy this video, I will be interviewing other YouTubers, other Halo YouTubers. Comment down their names below on who you want to be interviewed. But other than that, my name is DividableHalo HD, and I'll talk to you guys all later. And once again, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, of course.
All right.
Of course.
Bye.